Hello everyone, good day from the Agora International Ministries. Today, we're going to talk about our immune system, God's gift to us. First, let us talk about the pandemic. Why is it here? It caused us a lot of grief and isolation. It made us cancel our plans. It caused many people, including our loved ones, terrible experiences and death. And well, that is also one of the reasons why we're recording today. Sin and disobedience. Every time God allows sickness, disaster, or evil in the Bible, He does so to alert everyone to their state of rebellion and wickedness, in the hope that they will change their stubborn ways before it is too late. Our disobedience as humans have the capacity to cause their own destructions. Centuries of failure to comply with health laws has left their mark on the society, causing humans to decrease in strength, energy, health, and intelligence. There has been many cases of diseases caused by human actions, disobedience to the laws of health, and sinful habits. If we would look back last December 2019, it seems that COVID-19 was also caused by human disgusting habits. Despite of all these bodily iniquities, how do we keep living? How do we fight these invisible enemies? In this part, this is the thing that God created us with, our immune system. We shall have a rough introduction regarding this study. The immune system, or our immune system, is a highly organized defense system designed to fight terrible microorganisms. It is very complex. It is a massive army of cells and bodily defense that go after intruders. First line of defense. Of course, our first line of defense is our skin. It is simply a huge wall and barrier which filters harmful organisms from entering. And it is how they survive and propagate. We have also this sticky mucus which surrounds our organs. As slimy and nasty a mucus seems, it's important. But the terrorists sometimes get into our bodies in other ways. For example, when we have virus-laden surface, then touch our eyes, touch our mouth, or our nose. The tears, the sweat, our saliva, and mucus produced by the skin and mucosal lining are also part of that physical barrier. Leukocytes. Leukocytes are white blood cells, and they are on constant patrol and looking for pathogens. When they find a target, they begin to multiply and send signals out to the other type of cells to do the same. Okay, we have a complex system of cells which operate 24-hour security in our body. These mast cells are regularly patrolling, looking for any intruders. When they find something, they send out an alert and blood cells to come and heal any damages. These cells surround and absorb pathogen and break them down, effectively eating them. There are several types of these cells. Number one, we have here the neutrophils. These are the most common type of phagocytes and tend to attack bacteria. Secondly, we have the monocytes. These are the largest type and have several roles. Then, we have the macrophages. These patrol for pathogens and also remove for dead and lying cells. We have also here the mast cells. Mast cells have many jobs, including helping to heal wounds and defend against pathogens. We also have our lymphocytes. Lymphocytes help the body to remember previous invaders and recognize them if they come back to attack again. Then, there are also immune cells which roam around doing detective work. Some of the microvillians, little traces of pathogens, sort of fingerprints, or little pieces of evidence. When the immune cells find them, they pass on the information to the T cells so that the T cells can take them out. Some T cells also patrol the body and will communicate as necessary to the white blood cells. This will call up the white blood cells to take out the intruders as when is needed. We will have two types of lymphocytes. have B lymphocytes. They produce antibodies and help alert the T lymphocytes. We have also here T lymphocytes. They destroy compromised cells in the body and help other leukocytes. And then we also have these memory cells. So what are these memory cells? Memory cells are these things that are very extraordinary. They are tireless defense system, record keepers, and together they keep a record of all the microorganisms that have been entered in our body. They record details about the intruders, like who they are and how they work, so that they can be ready in the future. In that way, if the microterrorists return, the immune system takes swift action, and our body makes immunized. So how our immune system works? The immune system needs to be able to tell self from non-self. It does this by detecting proteins that are found on the surface of all cells. It learns to ignore its own or self proteins at an early stage. An antigen is a substance that can spark an immune response. In many cases, an antigen is a bacterium, fungus, virus, toxin, or any foreign body. It can also be done to one of our own cells that is faulty or dead. Initially, a range of cell types works together to recognize the antigen as an invader. Okay, what is the role of the B lymphocyte? We had earlier in the slides about lymphocytes. So what is its role? Okay, once B lymphocytes spot the antigen or the invader, they begin to secrete antibodies. And antibodies are short for antibody. Antigen is short for antibody generators. Antibodies are special proteins that lock on specific antigens. Each B cells makes one specific antibodies. And antibodies lock into the antigen but they do not kill it, only mark it for death. Then, after that, the phagocyte will do its job and eradicate it. Some T cells also patrol the body and will communicate as necessary to the white blood cells. And also, there are times when our immune system will cause our body to have fever. They lose a chemical that tells your body to raise the temperature, which results to fever. Fever can also be a good thing because as the temperature rises, the metabolisms of cells increase as well, which means that they can usually heal faster. So don't ever wonder if you have fever. Much more could be said, but considering the brilliance of our God in our immune system, we have patrolling special forces to be able to recognize intruders. We have some cells which patrol and communicate to other cells when something is wrong. And we have other cells that keep a sophisticated records of past intruders. Every second of our existence, this highly skilled, intelligent, special forces defense system is laboriously working to keep us safe. While we sit here and eat a bag of chips, or sleep, or run, or trim up the garden, or listen to a sermon, whatever our activities may be, our immune system is protecting us. Now, our immune system, how do we take good care of it? The immune system is the front line of our protection, fighting a war daily in our bodies. The immune system consists of numerous soldiers conducting distinct jobs. While white blood cells have learned to recognize and destroy certain intruders, cells may envelop, shoot, and devour invaders. All white blood cells work together to form the weapons required for our protection. Without our own defenders to protect us, we wouldn't last long. This is one more proof of God's design and care for His creation. So the big question is, how do we take good care of it? I will present to you just some basic takeaways. Okay, number one is to have a positive feelings. Enjoyment in small doses can cause an increase in antibodies and thereby boost the body's protective immune system for hours. Researchers have found that the brain contains messenger molecules that are produced by the immune system, enabling the brain and the immune system to communicate with each other. This explains why our physical condition is closely related to our mental and emotional state. If we are happy and free from stress, our immune system is boosted and is better able to fight sickness. Studies have shown that our subjects exposed to stress have sharply increased rate of infection. On the other hand, a pleasurable experience a day can keep the doctor away. Positive feelings also stimulate the spleen, producing an increase in RBC and corresponding increase in the number of cancer-fighting cells. Number 2 is, of course, very basic, living a healthy lifestyle. Food can greatly affect our health. Our immune system needs quality nutrition to run well. Decrease your sugar and refined carbohydrate intake, and increase your intake of garlic, onions, red fruits, green and red veggies, and live kosher yogurt. All of which are vital to our immune system function are found in these foods. Also, foods high in omega-3 fatty acids can help you healthy as well. Researchers also found that depriving healthy men of sleep for 4 hours from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. can cause 28% drop in killer cell activities, a key marker of an immune system strength. The levels only return to a normal after a full night's sleep. Exercise is also another great way to bolster our immune system. There is an evidence that people who get a good workout almost daily can add nearly 4 years to their lifespans. Exercise also improves sleep and the ability to handle stress and mental outlook. Before we close, here is a final takeaway that I'd like to share with you. I actually had read this review last week while I was finishing one of our major subjects. Our final reflection was to show appreciation to God's glory for this very gift that He gave to us. The review was entitled, The God of Christianity and the God of Immunology, Chance, Complexity, and God's Action in Nature. In the antibody gene rearrangement system, wildly separated segments of DNA join together in unpredictable ways, forming functional genes capable of producing antibody proteins that bind to the surface of invading pathogens. The great diversity of potential pathogens in the world demands that our body contain an equally diverse pool of antibodies to combat them. So the more that the environment, that the world has antigen for us, also our body had to produce as much of the antibodies in order to fight it off. Yet, rather than encoding tens of thousands of different antibodies of predetermined binding specificity in our genome, the antibody-producing cells rearrange several antibody gene segments to produce in the range of 10 raised to 9 or a billion different antibodies. So remember, take it to note that our antibodies is not predetermined, but rather it relies on a chance of randomness. There are a huge variety of structural unique proteins which are classified according to the antigen they bind. They also require assembly instructions recorded in the DNA. Scientists were unable to figure out why there are so many antibodies. Imagine 1 million of antibodies. Given these things, I could only say that God is everywhere, present in nature, even though He may seem disguised behind events that to us that seem very random, chancy, and uncertain. To me, it is glorious, indeed, to consider that from the randomness in the world of biology arise many good things we enjoy, and for which we give thanks to the Lord. The combination of chromosomes in sexual reproduction gives rise to variation we see among living organisms. Random combinations of gene segments allow us to defend against every bacterium and virus that comes our way. There probably is no way humanly possible that we will fully grasp how God is able to know the future, yet still allow nature to have the autonomy. Yet I am personally comfortable with the paradox. I believe and trust that God is at work in the world, and not distant, faithfully bringing about His ultimate aims, while at the same time allowing raindrops, lightning bolts, and antigen bodies to operate with their own economy, under His all-knowing care and ultimate authority. I am challenging you today to look back to all the things that God has done for us. Let's evaluate ourselves if we are doing what is best for our bodies, for these are not ours, but of the Lord. God bless and have a good day to one and all.